Have you ever felt that your legs are getting weaker, even though you are still eating healthy, staying active, and doing everything right? Why does climbing a familiar set of stairs suddenly feel so hard? Why does standing up from a chair take a few extra seconds and a bit more effort? Is it simply because of age? Or is there something else quietly working against you without you even realizing it? There is one mistake that many people over 60 still unknowingly make every day. A mistake that seems small but can gradually weaken the legs, increase joint pain, and make walking more difficult. What is concerning is that we make this mistake confidently, believing we are doing the right thing because we have been told it all our lives. For example, the advice that fruit is always good for your health. We are taught that fruits are nature's gift, healthy and essential for the body. But not everyone knows that not all fruits are suitable for your aging body. The truth is, some familiar fruits that you eat every week, even every day, might be silently weakening your legs, causing knee pain, joint inflammation, water retention, and making walking increasingly heavy and tiring. According to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition by Tufts University, as we age, our blood sugar metabolism becomes less efficient. Foods with a high glycemic index, or those high in acid, can lead to chronic inflammation, muscle weakness, joint damage, and even affect balance. Unfortunately, some common fruits fall into this category. That is why today I will share with you 7 types of fruits that people over 60 should limit or eliminate if they want to protect their legs from silently weakening and avoid prolonged pain and fatigue. And remember, number 7 may surprise you because it might be the fruit you still believe is the healthiest. I understand that changing eating habits is not easy, especially when we have been attached to certain foods for years. But, just like you, I believe the body can recover if we give it exactly what it needs. Weakness is not something we must accept. The body can still be improved, strength can be regained, and pain can be reduced. We just need to start with something simple. Take a closer look at the fruits on our plate. Today's video will not only help you understand which fruits are silently harming your legs, but will also offer specific and easy-to-apply suggestions to maintain muscle health, improve joints, and prevent cramps in your senior years. If you want to keep your legs strong, your steps steady, and avoid long-lasting aches, then this is the video you should not miss. And be sure to stay until the end because I will also share fruits that support recovery, improve blood circulation, and soothe inflamed joints. Let us begin by removing 7 seemingly harmless fruits that might be silently causing unexpected harm. Yes, 1. Pineapple. An inflammatory trigger. Hidden behind an anti-inflammatory reputation, pineapple is a delicious tropical fruit known for its refreshing taste and its content of bromelain, an enzyme often praised for its anti-inflammatory properties. Many believe that eating pineapple helps reduce arthritis, soothe swelling, and support digestion. But there is another side to this fruit that is rarely mentioned, especially for older adults. As we enter middle age and beyond, the small blood vessels in our body start to lose flexibility and become more vulnerable to blood sugar spikes. Pineapple, though natural, contains a high amount of fructose. Just 1 small cup of pineapple juice can contain more than 16 grams of sugar, equivalent to a small can of soda. This causes a rapid spike in blood sugar after eating. A quick blood sugar spike triggers a strong insulin response, followed by a sudden drop that leaves you feeling tired, weak, or even dizzy. Small blood vessels in the lower limbs, like the thighs, calves, and feet, can be silently damaged by these fluctuations in blood pressure and blood quality. Symptoms like heavy legs, numbness, slight ankle swelling, or knee pain are often mistaken for physical strain, but in fact may originate from the diet. Moreover, pineapple also contains a considerable amount of acid. This acid, once inside the body, can irritate cartilage and joint tissues, especially in those with a history of arthritis, joint pain, or rheumatism. Instead of reducing inflammation as many believe, pineapple may actually fuel it. For people taking blood thinners or heart medications, the bromelain enzyme in pineapple can interfere with how these drugs work, either increasing or decreasing their effects without your awareness. The danger lies in the fact that the damage is not immediate. You will not feel pain or fatigue after eating pineapple just once. But if you eat it weekly or monthly over the years, this silent buildup can gradually weaken your leg muscles, lead to chronic pain, and make walking heavier and more difficult each day. 2. Banana. friend of muscles or a silent betrayer. Bananas are a common fruit often seen as a rich source of potassium that helps prevent cramps and supports nerve and muscle function. But for older adults, the story is not so simple. One medium banana contains around 27 grams of carbohydrates and nearly 15 grams of natural sugar. When digested, these sugars quickly enter the bloodstream, causing a sharp rise in blood sugar within just 15 to 30 minutes. For those at risk of prediabetes or those with insulin regulation issues, bananas can trigger a chain reaction that reduces blood circulation, especially in the lower limbs. Decreased blood flow to the legs can make them feel heavy or sore when walking or standing for long periods. In addition, bananas are water-retaining foods. For individuals with heart or kidney issues, bananas can worsen water retention, leading to swollen ankles, joint pain, and a feeling of puffiness in the legs after meals. For people taking diuretics or high blood pressure medications, eating bananas regularly can cause potassium levels to rise abnormally high, resulting in muscle weakness, irregular heart rhythms, or prolonged fatigue. While bananas may be helpful in some situations, for those over 60 with metabolic issues, weak kidneys, or chronic joint inflammation, this is not the right choice. Especially if you often feel leg pain or fatigue after a banana breakfast, it is very likely that this seemingly healthy fruit is silently causing you harm each day. 3. Grapes, sweet but a hidden threat of gout and joint inflammation. Grapes are often praised for their antioxidants and heart health benefits. However, for older adults, eating grapes daily can be the hidden reason behind unexplained leg pain. A small cup of fresh grapes contains more than 23 grams of sugar, mostly fructose. When this sugar enters the liver, part of it is converted into fat and the rest into uric acid. This is where the hidden danger lies. Uric acid builds up in the blood, then crystallizes in joints, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees, causing sharp, intense pain, redness, and temporary loss of mobility. This condition is known as gout. But it does not stop there. Fructose also increases inflammation throughout the body. This makes already weak joints more sensitive, more easily irritated, and sore after movement. A particularly dangerous feature of grapes is how easy they are to overeat. Because they are small, juicy, and mildly sweet, many people eat 2 to 3 bunches without even realizing it. This results in the intake of a large amount of fructose that the body cannot process quickly enough, accelerating inflammation and joint damage in the lower limbs. If you have ever experienced sudden foot pain at night, especially a sharp pain in the big toe like being pricked with needles, or swelling in your feet without heavy activity, you may want to check how many grapes you have been eating during the week. You might discover an unexpected connection. 4. Watermelon. Light and refreshing, but disrupts blood circulation. Watermelon is often seen as the symbol of summer, and the perfect choice for hydration and cooling the body. But for people over 60, watermelon is not always the ideal fruit many believe it to be. Although watermelon contains more than 90% water, it also has a very high glycemic index. One small cup of sliced watermelon can contain nearly 10 grams of sugar. This sugar is absorbed very quickly, causing blood sugar to spike within minutes. For younger individuals, this spike may be manageable, but for older adults with a weaker pancreas and less responsive insulin, these sharp spikes in blood sugar are the reason behind tired legs, numbness, and even cramps after meals. In addition, high blood sugar disrupts blood circulation, especially in distant limbs like the ankles and knees. You may notice your legs feeling heavier, walking becoming more difficult, or slight swelling around your ankles after eating watermelon, even just a few slices. The particularly dangerous thing about watermelon is the harmless feeling it gives. Because of its light sweetness, refreshing taste, and cold temperature, many older adults eat 2 to 3 large slices without feeling full or concerned. However, each of these slices may silently damage your blood vessels, gradually weaken the muscle groups in the calves and thighs. If you often feel tired after meals, or every time you stand up you need to pause for a few seconds, because your legs do not catch up right away, watermelon could be one of the silent reasons you have not realized. 5. Oranges, source of vitamin C or an attack on your knees. Oranges are often associated with good health and a strong immune system. A glass of orange juice in the morning seems like the perfect way to start the day. But for older adults, especially those with joint problems or poor circulation, oranges may not always be a good companion. One medium orange contains about 12 grams of sugar and a high amount of citric acid. This acid, when entering the body, not only irritates the stomach lining, but can also affect joint tissues, especially in people with arthritis or degenerative joints. Many seniors have shared that they feel their knees stiffer in the morning or have a dull ache in the hips after breakfast with orange juice. This is not a coincidence. When citric acid enters the bloodstream, it can stimulate inflammation points, increase tension, and worsen joint pain. Combined with the natural sugar in oranges, this also increases the insulin response and leads to widespread inflammation. Chronic inflammation not only causes joint pain, but also affects muscle flexibility, especially in the legs. You may find yourself walking more slowly, less steady, or frequently massaging your thighs and knees even without intense activity. And if you are taking calcium supplements or multivitamins, you should also be cautious because the acid in oranges may reduce calcium absorption, lowering the effectiveness of your supplements and gradually weakening your bones and joints. 6. Green apples, nutritional lecturer, or nighttime muscle cramp trigger. Green apples have a rustic and clean appearance and are favored by many older adults for their mildly sour taste and lower sweetness compared to red apples. But behind that shiny skin are two factors that need special attention: malic acid and natural sugar. Malic acid is the type of acid that gives green apples their characteristic sour flavor. When we are younger, the body can easily handle this acid, but once we reach 60, the digestive lining becomes more fragile and easily irritated. Malic acid may cause a slight burning sensation in the stomach, but more dangerously, it can stimulate joints and muscle tissues that are already damaged. Many older people have experienced numbness in the thigh area or stiff knees after eating apples without knowing why, especially if you eat apples in the evening as a light snack. The acid and sugar from the apple stay in your body overnight, causing cramps during sleep or a tightening feeling in your legs when you wake up the next morning. Although the sugar content in green apples is lower than red apples, it is still enough to cause blood sugar fluctuations if eaten too close to bedtime. This is particularly dangerous for those taking blood sugar regulating medications or those with poor blood circulation in the legs. If you have the habit of eating apples daily, especially in the afternoon or evening, and recently have trouble sleeping due to muscle pain or leg fatigue, try stopping for a week. You may be surprised by how your body responds. 7. Mango, sweet sugar, bomb but dangerous to the joints. Mango is a beloved fruit for its sweet flavor, soft texture, and fragrant aroma, but for older adults, mango may be one of the fruits that triggers the strongest insulin response. A ripe mango can contain up to 45 grams of sugar. This amount of sugar is equivalent to 2 cans of soft drinks. What is concerning is that mangoes are often eaten in large quantities because they are soft, easy to consume, and considered a healthy dessert. But once in the body, the sugar in mangoes is absorbed quickly and causes a blood sugar spike. This sudden rise stimulates the pancreas to release insulin. However, in older adults, the insulin response is often not strong enough or no longer sensitive. The result is prolonged high blood sugar, which causes inflammation throughout the body. Knee inflammation, ankle pain, sharp aches in small joints like the toes, and even burning sensations on the soles of the feet are common signs after regularly eating mangoes over time. Additionally, mangoes may worsen symptoms of peripheral nerve inflammation, causing numbness in the limbs or knee pain after standing for long periods. If you are recovering from an injury or arthritis, eating mangoes daily can prolong recovery time or even worsen chronic inflammation in weight-bearing joints. Perhaps after hearing this list, you feel a bit surprised. It is hard to believe that fruits we have trusted and eaten for many years, believing they bring us health, might be silently harming our bodies, especially our legs, knees, and the precious flexibility we once had. But you know what? Realizing the problem is the first step toward change. And fortunately, your body always has the ability to heal if you give it the chance. By making gentle changes, starting with removing fruits that are no longer suitable, you will begin to notice a difference. Lighter legs, less morning pain, and a fading sense of fatigue after long periods of standing. Caring for your health does not need to begin with something big. Just one wise choice in your daily meals can be the beginning of a positive journey. If you want to maintain your freedom of movement and stay away from persistent aches, remember that sometimes the most important thing is knowing what to eat and what to avoid. And do not take your eyes off this video, because in the next part, I will share with you fruits that are not only safe, but also truly help restore muscle strength, reduce joint inflammation, and support blood circulation for those over 60. These will be wonderful options to include in your daily meals to strengthen your body, maintain flexibility, and gradually reduce discomfort one step at a time. See you in the next part. Your body deserves to be loved and cared for in the right way, starting with one simple decision: choosing the right fruit.